falling too, grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back for another exciting night of Saturday Night Rocket League, and we are getting into the thick of things as we only have, well, including these matches tonight, 3 more matches to go in the regular season. Next week will be the last week of the regular season, so a lot is on the line for all these teams, especially the matches tonight. I'm Rockerman, back in the booth with the one and only Bagel Chungus, the Summer Bummer. How's it going?
Well, we didn't have to say that.
Well, it's your in-game name. I was just reading off the screen,
I'm thinking about changing it back. That being said, though, summer is here and it is here to stay because it be hot as hell as per usual. But also as per usual, glad to be here with, of course, the one and only dictator himself. But yeah, I think we have a good one on our hands tonight on the Titan League. I know people don't watch the Titan League as much, but I think you guys might want to be strapped in here for this matchup because I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it should be a good one here as we have Krakens and Bananas. I mean, Bagels, you got one of the top teams in Nemesis this season, the Krakens, who have gone all the way through the season 15-0. They are looking to tie the Nemesis record set by the Drakes, who went 16-0 in the regular season way back in season 3, and they've had a good run through the Titan League so far.
Yeah, and they've had little resistance as well. I think they've only dropped 9 individual games. 2 of those series going to Game 5. Oh no, they've joined.
They better not.
They have been fooled. 2 of the series going to Game 5. Once against the Grandmasters, once against the Godfathers. And honestly, I think the Godfathers one was a bit of a troll, as it was the first game of the season. In every other series, they only dropped 1 game, if not a sweep, in all the other ones. So definitely the most dominating team by far. Despite the undefeated record, I'll say it. I don't think they're the best team. I think they absolutely can be the best team. I don't think that they're the most dangerous team. But that being said, Mitch and Luca have performed at a very high level in a lot of community tournaments and stuff outside. So it's hard to kind of tell if they're trolling or not, and if they're giving it their all. But I know that they've won, however many hundreds of dollars in outside tournaments and stuff. So I know they can definitely turn it on to another gear. Whether or not we'll see that gear tonight, I don't know.
Yeah, we will have to see here as we've got them in the lobby. Bananas 9-6, coming in with, I believe they have One Tap Steph, Tommy, and Bravo on their roster. So Bagels, we've seen these rosters, we've seen these guys before. I've got a lot of people making predictions with their channel points in the chat, the Discord. People are making their predictions, and maybe they're agreeing with you a little bit, Bagels. It wasn't the most lopsided prediction of the night, surprisingly, despite the Krakens being undefeated. But who you got in this one, Bagels? Who is taking this one? And will we see the undefeated record go down?
Still, despite my criticism, I do believe the Krakens will take the victory here. But that being said, the Bananas, they've had a somewhat of a topsy-turvy kind of season. They're sitting at 9-6, but I do believe they are a better team than that. And Tommy and One Tap Steph, both players new to Nemesis this season. Bravo, a veteran, former Season 4 champ, my teammate that season. And he's just a solid third here. But it's going to be up to Steph and Tommy to kind of spearhead the offense and the defense. But, the Bananas team, they're dangerous. I think they can take it to Game 5, but I still have, oh my goodness, I still have the Krakens here, and they get a strange one to start it off.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird play
He's
here.
flopping in the net.
I don't know why Luca is on the inside of that post, but sometimes that just works out, and unfortunate 50 to go towards the Bananas net, and not the ideal start here, Bagel. When you're trying to take down an undefeated team, you really got to come out and you got to kind of take it to them at the beginning.
Yeah, and there was a sort of strange whiff by Steph on the back line there, and not quite sure why that ended up coming out, but just a series of awkward plays after that whiff came out. And not quite sure why Luca was in the net, not quite sure why it worked. But you take what's handed to you.
Yeah, that's the one thing about these guys here, Bagels, is the Krakens. I know you said they may not be the most dangerous team. I guess it definitely depends on when they're focused, and sometimes they can be a little bit unfocused. Maybe you're reminiscent of the old, I believe it was season 2 Venganza, that were a little bit chaotic. And when you got Luke on the team, you got Mitch there. Things can get a little bit crazy with these guys.
Yeah, I would definitely. That's a good comp right there. I think the skill level on this team is better than the skill level was in that season. Sky's not in the league anymore, but definitely a much more solid player since then. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely lighthearted, taking it easy. But again, more awkward plays coming out from Steph, who just seems to be hitting the ball at every opportunity, whether it's beneficial for his team or not. Finally getting a clear out here up to Tommy with a good 50. But I don't know, it's just the Bananas, they're looking good on the offensive side of things. Don't have a shot to show for it yet, but the defense has been suspect these opening 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have to see what their defense can hold. I've heard a lot of talk about one-tap step, and here is an open net, but can't quite put it in. Tommy just a little bit wide there, as Bravo and one-tap step both up for that one. As it's thrown out in the midfield and a shot towards the net, but Coffee is going to make the touch there, and an opportunity for the Bananas, but they can't quite make it happen. Is a little bit awkward here for them. As Bengals, we kind of talked about the Krakens being undefeated. They've already clinched the #1 overall seed, but the Bananas have a lot to play for in this one, as they're right on the edge of that play-in tournament and the playoff race.
Yeah, they're sitting at that 7 spot currently, and if they win this, they could likely push up into the 6th as while almost loitering into the net. But I mean, there's so many teams. I mean, every team is essentially hoping to win out at this point if you want more advantageous seeding, because there's so many teams at that 11-5, 10-6. And if the Bananas somehow miraculously take down the undefeated Krakens here, they will move on to 10-6 as well, which will be 3 or 4 teams in that spot. So it'll be a highly contested race to avoid the play-in tournament. Although if you do end up in that 7th, 8th spot, you have that second life, so to say. But nobody wants to get stuck in the play-in tournament. They want to know that their chances are secure.
Yeah, definitely. You don't really want to avoid the play-in tournament at all costs. As you start to get to the playoffs officially, and you get the best of 7 for his play-in tournament, only best of 5. And we talked about Krakens have already confirmed playoffs, and the #1 seed is this ball dangerous in the Banana zone, but still a minute and a half remaining in game 1. This game has gone by pretty quick. The only goal being the one where Luka was sitting on the inside of the net and got that awkward pinch in, but we'll have to see. The Krakens are back on the attack here. Mitch off the backboard. This one is up. A shot coming through from Luka, but one-tap step just enough to get it away. This one sent off to the side, and the Bananas really looking to get some offense here. But it's sent back in, and Bagels a minute remaining, and they have got to turn some of these defensive mistakes, cut them down, and try to get some offense in the final 60 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, Steph, he's just all over the field at the moment. And Bravo with an insane pre-jump, but even Steph was pre-jumped. I'm not quite sure what he's doing on the field at the moment. I mean, he's just hotly contesting every ball, even if his teammates are going for it, half turning in the midfield. He's pre-jumping right here. I mean, I really don't know if he's actually trying or if he's trolling or what the deal is, but he's literally jumping for every ball. I'm surprised he's not up for this one. Okay, there he goes. As the opportunity comes and goes. But I mean, strange game 1 overall, as they're starting to get some pressure, but only 2 shots apiece for both teams. It's been a very back and forth, just midfield kind of game.
Yeah, and the final seconds are ticking away. The miss comes out in front of the net. Mitch going to get credit for the shot, but final 10 seconds, can the Banana turn around a shot forwards? But one-tap step going to make the save. Do they have a last-second hero ball in them? This ball going towards the side here. Luka is going to get the clear away, and that may just do it as he touches it one more time, and the Krakens are going to come out and take game 1 in a close one, only 1-0. And yeah, low scoring affair, but the Krakens hold on and take game 1.
Yeah, I definitely was expecting a little bit more fireworks out of both of these teams, but maybe it's just because it's Saturday and maybe the players haven't been playing the game since Monday as much. But they definitely look, even the Krakens, even though they got that kind of one strange goal, even the Krakens are looking, they're not looking bad. They don't have that spice to them. And the Bananas, I mean, Steph was all over the field. He was making the 50s, but I mean, it was just almost, it was like he was trying to do too much work to be done for just one player. Got to let Tommy and Bravo get more incorporated on the side of things. But that being said, despite all that kind of weird rotational errors, they only got outshot by one, and the one goal that was scored probably shouldn't have even been scored. So for all we know, we could have been sitting at like a 6-minute overtime just with this back and forth.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird game, and I don't know, the Kraken just hold on. I know maybe each of them trying to find their footing. I know, like you said, they haven't played. This game was supposed to be on Wednesday, but they decided to flex it. I know Luka just got back from a vacation, which is probably one of the reasons why they decided to flex this game to Saturday. So maybe trying to ease into things, Bagels. And now heading into game 2, the Bananas are going to be the ones, really having to prove something here after they're going to want to hand a game loss at least to the Krakens.
Yeah, I mean, and I know the Krakens are definitely trying for the undefeated season. After talking to Mitch, he definitely wants the undefeated season, so might be a little trolling along the way, but definitely their hopes is to grab that 18-0 for the regular season. But, I mean, on the side of Bananas, all three of these players are fast. All three of these players can be mechanical. I think they're just getting in their own way as to start this game off. Even Bravo and Tommy were double committing. So just they got to get the comms or the rotation under order here, as seemingly nobody wanted to go for the ball right there. And luckily for them, Krakens didn't put a shot on, but still dangerous. Luka off the back wall, Coffee with the shot on after the bump. And not much you could do right there if you were, not sure who the last man was for the Bananas, but that's a tough spot.
Yeah, Bravo just stuck there. Luka falling down, running into him, and Coffee. Solid third. Able to slot that one in the bottom right. And Krakens, again, they take the early lead. And we're going to have to see if the Bananas can find their first goal of this series and kind of stick with it. Or if we could see another game like the first one. That one was a little bit slow-paced. And, Krakens kind of had it along the way. That one's saved away. But we'll have to see here. So we're into game number 2. Krakens drop this one towards the net. It's just open, but it's getting saved away. One-tap step at the last minute.
Oh.
As an awkward double click comes through. Luka off the post, and they're trying to get it out, but for some reason that net was open, Bagels, and the Krakens could not capitalize. As here they go again. Bravo with a 50. It's still dangerous. A fake comes out of the shot again, a 50, but it's cleared away.
There's just pandemonium all over the Bananas inner third right now, and somehow they have not gotten scored on. Double commits still outstanding. And again, that was a great first save from Steph to avoid that open net, but he just used 100 boost to get a meager touch out to the middle, and again, just trying to do too much on the ball. Could have let Tommy clear it out, and perhaps wouldn't still be stuck on defense right here. But again, Steph is just a ball chaser through and through. I mean, after playing in the All-Star game against him, that was that was just not a fun experience overall for me or Bubbly. Especially when one-tap Steph was just absolutely ball chasing like nobody's business. And I mean, he's doing that here. Nothing has changed besides the teammates, but it's almost too much ball chasing.
There is a fine line, Bagel. There's a fine line between ball chasing and then putting your team in bad spots. And sometimes though it can work. Sometimes you just need someone to be an aggressive first, but like you said, it can be too much at times, and Bananas have to be careful as this one is shot towards the net but a little bit wide. This Coffee trying to pop it up. Bravo is going to make the touch. One-tap step, throwing it towards the back. We're looking for the touch, but Luka with a great clear, able to get it away. The Kraken's so solid on those backboard and those sidewall clears. There's another 50 coming up in the midfield, and this one sent off to the side. About 2 minutes remaining. As this one's sent towards the middle, one-tap Steph trying to drop it down. Here comes an opportunity, but it's blocked away in the midfield. Steph trying to get back to it, but Mitch clears it away. And Bagels, we're already 3 minutes deep, and it's the same scoreline here as a 50 comes through. Coffee in the midfield has a net to shoot at, but Tommy makes the save. We're still at a 1-0 affair, and the Bananas desperately need to get something going for their offense.
Yeah, except this time in game number 2, as Whiff comes out here. I think it was Steph having to race back, but again, more demos coming out from the Krakens, and Steph, not a lot of boost, perhaps thinking he needed to pre-flip and get that. But it looked like he may have had a little bit more time than he thought he had, but hard to tell when you're trying to just race back and make a touch right there.
Yeah, just not able to make that make that connection. And Coffee now has 2 goals in this game, as Coffee touted as the third man with 2 mechanical players like Luka and Mitch. And speaking of Luka, there he goes in the back of the net, a nice read off the sidewall, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Krakens.
Yeah, I mean, Bravo just trying to do too much out of that corner, gets the good first touch, and then tries to pre-flip and use some boost to get back to it. But really, it just would have been faster to wave dash onto the ground and get a 50 out. And, you don't want to give Luka or Mitch space. And, really not a highly scoreable opportunity off of the sidewall. But when you're to the player caliber of player like Luka, you can make something out of nothing. And, yeah, that just happened.
Bravo, he just sends it a long way, and Coffee just can't touch it. Maybe a little bit of a novice moment there as that one goes in the back of the net. But, those things happen sometimes, Bagels. And, hey, the Bananas happy to finally get on the board. The perfect sweep will not be happening for sure here now. And with a minute remaining, 2 goals is definitely doable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure if that gives them any more confidence. It is definitely better for the scoreline here, but I mean, off of a whiff, and Luka, he's going for another bump, but Tommy able to swing this one off to the side, and Steph in the air. Luka last back. He's still got more boost to work with, trying to get a musty flip reset, and again, Steph, the most dangerous one on the ball, seemingly on the Bananas, but I mean, even with the solo play opportunity, you got a ones player on defense like Mitch, he's going to come up with that play, but Bravo able to slip it past 2, but not quite able to find the accuracy. Still dangerous here is for some reason, in the final minute, Bananas starting to ramp things up, but with just 20 seconds left and stuck on the defensive third, they're going to have to hope for a miracle at this point.
And they will, as this one sent back towards their end, and that could do it. Mitch trying to throw it back in for one more, as Luka's going to connect on the touch, looking for a very similar play to his last goal. This one's up in midfield, and that is going to do it here, as might look for one more for the road here. As Bananas pop this one up, Mitch looking to stay with it, but scoreline aside, not possible now for the Bananas. And Luka's just going to pull one in there at the last second. He throws one more for the Krakens, and that'll do it for game 2.
I mean, that was just a really nice soft touch here, and the wherewithal to get it. Not the best second touch, but enough to slide it over the final defender for a little bit of a extra insurance there at the end, a little stat padding. But, I mean, definitely this was an improvement from game 2, not for the Bananas, but for Krakens. I mean, we really got to see the high-octane gameplay here. I mean, Krakens, they had 3 shots in game 1, and they're up at 11 here with 4 goals there to secure that one at the end. But Bananas, again, they don't look slow, but they just look uncoordinated. They're definitely fast. They're getting the 50s, but the players just aren't in position for the 50s they're getting. And again, it's just, this was a lot better from Steph in game number 2. He was doing a lot of work, but it was better work. But still, it's just the 3 of them not coordinating on defense, and they gave up that one early. And you never want to give up a goal in the first minute, just not going to set the momentum your way.
Yeah, this is one of those tough ones, Bagels. I feel like every time you're going up against one of these top opponents, trying to pull a little bit of an upset. I mean, Bananas a solid play-in, caliber team. They've already clinched at least a play-in berth. But when you're going up against the best of the best, you can't be giving up early goals. And now they are going to have to do what would truly be impossible, Bagels, and they're going to have to try to reverse sweep the undefeated Krakens. That just sounds like it's scary.
Yeah, I just don't think it's possible. I mean, they might troll a little bit and give them one game here, but the way they're playing, as Mitch and Luka both committing on that one, all 3 players right next to each other, not able to get something started out of this. But I mean, the way they're playing right now, I can tell that they are definitely wanting to just bury this and go for the easy sweep here. I don't think they want to let Bananas to even have a chance or even have fun at potentially even trolling a game here. But I was really expecting a lot more from Bananas out of this series. Even after playing them earlier in the season, we did end up beating them 3-1, but I mean, I was just expecting a lot more from them. And they look slow and uncoordinated, and I just need more out of them. And again, they actually scored the same goal at 4:18. They scored at 4:18 in the second game as well. And again, that's 3 goals in the first minute through all 3 games.
Yeah, it just seems like the Bananas in the first minute just giving it up there, and I think that one, Mitch was in the midfield. Maybe the defender got faked out a little bit by Mitch not touching that one, and then Luka, of course, gonna follow it off as miss comes through, but Tommy gonna clear it away, and again the Bananas just digging themselves a hole. And if you're gonna want to try to pull off an upset and take down an undefeated team, you can't be giving the early ones out. As Bravo trying to get one here for the Bananas, but it's gonna be cleared away to the side as it's sent up, and Bananas again gonna have to recover and see if they can start something. I know, Bagels, it does seem like it'd be nearly impossible, but hey, you never know what could happen. You never know what could happen on the Saturday Night Rocket League, and you never know until you play the games out. It's a nice little passing play from one-tap step from Tommy. Is gonna go to the back of the net and Bananas. Hey, maybe that's a little bit of offense we like to see.
My favorite thing to call out on my most in-favorite thing to do is smacking it off the sidewall. Don't smack it off the sidewall, especially in Titan League where players can convert on counterattacks super fast. And Mitch, he smacked it off the sidewall, and that's the first goal the Bananas have really earned, because the other one off of a whiff from Coffee in game number 2. So really the first goal they've gotten. And, it was a good passing play, but again, it came off of a mistake from Mitch and put Luka in a bad spot. So really, they earned it, but I'm not seeing, anything noteworthy out of the Bananas, as another passing play almost developing there, but Bravo and Tommy, bit of a scuffle between each other, and it's just they don't got the fire in them. I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying. But they finally got one, though, and, hey, it may have been a struggle so far, but you get one, and all of a sudden, maybe the Tides can turn around for you. If they can get one game, obviously this may be the easiest one of a potential reverse sweep, but if they can even just get one game, maybe open the door up a little bit. Like you said, the Krakens are going to want to slam it down on them. Don't even let them get the chance. But Bananas, see if they can get one back. Here's one-tap step off to the side. The boost steal's going to come through. This one-tap step still on this one. Mitch on the ceiling, looking for a touch there, dropping it down off the backboard. Coffee is up for the shot. Coffee with the angle, putting it down and in.
Yeah, and I think Mitch was providing some interference there on the backboard, maybe. Nope, he just slid right off. Tommy tried to latch himself up there, but ended up slipping off the lip of the ceiling of the net right there. But, definitely a fantastic angle from Coffee right there to secure it. But really, I think I actually need some more demos out of this Bananas team, because the defense has been so solid from Krakens, and Luka and Mitch are both solid 1v1 players. They just need some demos. And they need to set up Steph, although here's a good solo play opportunity here, but he kind of botches the first touch, but really that's the first, oh my goodness, as another insane whip coming out from Tommy. But they need to set Steph up, because he's the most mechanical one on this team, and more often than not, he's hitting these shots. It's just every time he's going for a double tap, there's a player on the backboard, and they just got to eliminate that player.
Here comes Mitch for the fake. It's just going to go in. He goes off the ceiling, comes down, gets the fake, and that ball just falls at the back of the net, and it's 3-1 for the Krakens.
That's just a fantastic setup from Mitch, because the two defenders, they don't know if Mitch has boost. Mitch knows he has 0 boost, and that's why he just faked it, because he could do so many things. If he had boost, he could shoot it left, he could shoot it right, he could go for a musty wall landing for it. But, sometimes in the Grandmaster's fashion, the best thing to do is just don't go for the ball at all.
That's one way to do it. And it worked that time for Mitch, as the Krakens looking to pull this one off, but a ball in the midfield. Steph might be able to get one back, and they put it in, and Bananas staying alive here in game 3.
Kind of came off the back of what I was asking for in some bumps. Tommy was out chasing Mitch. Not that he was rotating back either way, but I think a few bumps maybe come out before that as well off that kickoff. But they just need to provide some more disturbance on the Kraken's defensive side of things. But either way, they still are down a goal here, and you have to find a passing play, a bump. No, there's a good passing play right there off the sidewall. And, sometimes you do want to smack it off the sidewall, and sometimes you don't. This is one of those times you do when your teammates are in position, and that was a very quick developing play.
That was, and that's the second time this game, Bagels, they found something like that off the sidewall, and all of a sudden the Bananas making a little bit of noise here in this game 3, and maybe they have something to say about, hey, we're not getting swept here. We can hang and at least force a game 4.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Bananas that I wanted to see. They're not necessarily, doing anything crazy, but all they need to do is be coordinated and be in the right spots. And in game number 3 here, they haven't really been double committing. They're going for a lot more infield passes, and their players are back on defense. And, you know, even though Mitch and Luca are both insane ones players and pulling off these solo plays, we just saw that good fake play from Mitch. More often than not, if there's just a player on defense, it makes it so much harder to convert on. And the Bananas players, they're in the right spots here in game number 3, as one player just getting eliminated off the field, got ace combated, but luckily they were double stacking the net. But a much more improved Bananas in game number 3 here for sure, as we may have overtime.
It's getting down to it here as we are tied 3-3 in game number 3. Bananas looking to stave off this sweep and force a game 4. This ball into the corner, popped down midfield. Mitch gonna find a touch, send it down. Can he find a read here? He's looking for it. Pass out middle. Luca is there. Oh, and the shot is saved. Bravo on the goal line, but this ball is still hanging around the Bananas end. Are they going to try to counter on this? They are. Here comes Tommy and one tap step. Tommy, the flip reset, but it's going to go down, and we have overtime as, oh my goodness, that save from Bravo Bagels. They have kept the Bananas alive in this series.
I mean, that was a great setup from Mitch. He got the perfect touch out to the middle, even a greater save from Bravo to avoid the sweep, and almost actually ended up converting off the 0-second goal. But if that pass ended up coming to the middle, I would have been really nervous if I was Bravo to commit at 0 seconds like that. An all-in play from the Bananas, but I guess if it's 0 seconds, maybe try and do it. But luckily for him, he didn't have to make that decision for the pass to come out middle. And now they are in overtime here, and it's anybody's game.
It definitely is. And the Bananas looking to take one here. This one sent towards the Krakens backboard. Coffee can't connect. Here comes Luca for one touch. One tap step in the corner looking for their teammate there. And they have an opportunity. The shot is going to go in, and the Bananas are going to take this game in overtime, and they have some life, Bagels.
Yeah, and I mean, just kind of the most panic I've seen out of the Krakens really on defense in the last 10 seconds there. Again, kind of a mistouch from Mitch 5 seconds prior to that. He smacked it off the sidewall again on defense, and it leaked out to the middle, and that's what led to Steph trying to get that ball into the corner to Tommy. And Coffee thought the shot was going to come out, so he hit it off his own back wall. And again, Mitch, not quite sure if he had boost or if he didn't, but he was just extremely awkward on the back wall. And the Bananas, they take one, and I gotta say, they earned it this game. They were playing so much better. The coordination was there. Steph, he wasn't able to convert on any of the mechanical plays he was going for, but he was forcing double commits, getting good 50s off these air dribbles and double taps that he was going for. So, I mean, if they can just feed the ball to Steph and go for more of these infield passes and the bump plays, just the threat of having somebody in the net, I mean, the Krakens, like I said, they're beatable.
Yeah, they definitely are beatable. But I mean, there's a reason they are 15-0, and as we head into game number 4, we'll have to see if that 15-0 Krakens are going to come out here, or if the Bananas can possibly do the impossible. It's Bravo looking for the dunk off the backboard, but he can't find the double tap. Is that one so close? And that would have been a huge goal for them here on Forbidden Temple, as they are looking, Bagels, to pull off the reverse sweep, and this is the most crucial game yet, and it's going to be a tough one.
I mean, Bravo, he may be the third man on this roster, but he is just as mechanical as Steph in these moments of solitude as another passing play. I mean, the Bananas, they're just finding each other, although they got to be careful about overextending as they're sending too early on a lot of these drives. And this gives Luca the opportunity to do some dangerous plays as well, but the bump coming out. But again, they got to be careful, because now Coffee's been a proven shooter in this series as well. They're making the plays in this first minute. They have not gotten scored on in the first minute. First time ever in this series. So they are improving, but again, they're low on boost, and they're trying to force some opportunities here, and they might get caught out, but not yet.
Yeah, and that's a good point here. Is, oh my, the two players are dribbled there, and the shot is going to go in from Mitch. Two Bananas overcommitted. It's not a minute in Bagels, but what is that, a minute 23?
Yep, and I say it must be true. Crystal ball moment happened not 3 seconds after I said that. You got to be careful, and two players were in the same spot, and after having a nice coordinated game 3, very minimal double commits. I mean, it wasn't even a double commit. Neither of them went for the ball and just kind of got dribbled past them. And Mitch, he had a free net there. He has another opportunity here. Going to try and slot it top left, but Tommy with the save. But again, the Bananas are finding each other on offense with these infield passes. But on defense, they're not working together to get the ball out. It's just a lot of solo efforts. And they got to utilize each other a little bit more to get out of defense. And it'll save them on the boost factor, too, as Tommy going for some bumps, but nothing doing.
I was close there. Luke was the last man. He had to avoid the demo and make the save. Bananas almost another one there. That's probably the second really good opportunity they've had to convert on offense, because now they're back in their own zone. Let's have Steph on the dribble here. Trying to get it by Mitch, but Mitch able to use all that boost to get to it. So here comes Tommy Coffee. He's going to make the touch and find the double. And this one, the net is wide open. Mitch, they can't put it in. And the Krakens, they can't convert it. That was a wide open net.
Why was the net open, though? Why was it open?
I am not sure, Bagels. The net was wide open, but the Krakens unable to capitalize. And Bananas, they might be, a little bit relieved after that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a troll play from the Krakens. If they wanted to score that, they definitely could have. As another good save from Bravo. Steph with the early pre-jump. Flip reset to boot. Chooses not to use it. Gets a good 50 off the sidewall, but Bravo not able to get there. And Tommy, he is overcommitted once again. And Mitch, that was definitely not a troll. He absolutely missed that open net once again.
Oh my goodness, the Kraken just can't find the shooting accuracy as Luka, he's finding the 50. He's looking for a shot. The Kraken just can't find one in the back of the net. But they still have a 1-0 lead. They're keeping the Bananas stuck on the defensive end. Which that is one way to hold them is, oh my goodness, Mitch throwing that in the midfield. That was a dangerous clear across his own net. Fortunate the Bananas can put it in. Luka with a musty. Oh my goodness, what a flick. And he gives them the 2-0 lead.
I mean, and the Bananas, they actually had somebody hard set in net for once in Game 4 here, but with a play like that, I mean, you are not going to save that. I mean, maybe if Steph was positioned a little bit better in the net, but, I mean, like 90% of the time, you're expecting the player to kind of dribble it to the corner and,
no!
Oh, my, as he misses the open net. Steph almost finding the recovery. Bravo trying to secure it, and you just gotta hit that shot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, and the Krakens may have missed an open net, but that one for the Bananas, you have to hit those if you're trying to claw back in this series and force a Game 5. And this one, a shot from Coffee is gonna go in, and it's 3-0, and this may strike doom for the Bananas.
Yeah, I think it's over. And I mean, there's just no excuse. So much time. He could have waited another full second and a half, 2 seconds, and he could have just been right in front of the net. And that's just a deflating play right there. I feel bad. I feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, that one's a tough one, and the Bananas, they just so close on some of these opportunities as they're trying to get a little passing play, but two Krakens are waiting in the net. And with under a minute to go, down by 3, a miracle will be needed on Forbidden Temple as this ball sent back towards the Kraken's net. Opportunity here for a shot as they're extended in the midfield. For Luka and Coffee going to find a huge pinch as the free jump is out, looking for a touch. He finds a touch off the backboard. Here comes Luka, but it's not going to go. And that one almost a little highlight reel play there as one-tap Steph is going to get demoed. And that is about going to do it here, Bagels. The Krakens are going to take this one 3-1, but Bananas, they showed some signs of life after the first 2 games. They started to look like an actual team there.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to their spacing. They were either too far away from each other or they were way too close to one another. There was a lot of times where Steph was going for kind of a solo dribble or maybe even an air dribble from the ground, and Bravo or Tommy was just right behind him, expecting too much, which, I mean, if you're behind Steph, you're expecting him to get a good 50 or beat him. But, I mean, even if you're on that caliber player that he is, you're going to get a lost 50 or you're going to get beat. A mistake is going to come out. He kind of botched a few air dribbles here and there. And then that's why there was nobody in net. I'm thinking on half of these opportunities, they're constantly just racing back. I mean, you can't give the Krakens those kind of opportunities. even though Mitch missed like 2 open nets. um, I think it just comes down to the spacing and the rotation. I think their passes were good on offense. I think their shots were good when they were actually getting shots, but definitely a low shooting affair from this Bananas team. I think this was the most shots they got all series, and this was only 5 shots. And you're not going to beat like any team in Titan just putting up 5 shots, even if it's like one of the lower caliber teams.
Yeah, and especially when you're going up against the undefeated Kraken, who
Yeah.
now who now Bagels, they are going to move to 16-0, and an impressive performance for them, as now they tie the record here, the regular season record. Obviously, back in season 3, there was only 16 games in that season, Bagels, for those Drakes that went with the perfect season, a full 19-0 in the Challenger League in season 3. But hey, the Kraken 16-0 now on the season, 2 wins away from that perfect season. And like you said, they're going to be gunning for it, and I'm sure all eyes are going to be on them to see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they play on Monday. It might be Inferno, but I know either on Monday or Wednesday they definitely play Blizzard. So I think Blizzard's kind of the last hope to try and upset the undefeated season there. I mean, Blizzard again. I think they're kind of in that 9-6, 10-6 range as well. Actually, they're 11-5 along with the Grandmasters there. Um, I mean, I honestly think, like I was saying earlier, the Krakens, they may be undefeated. I just don't think they're the most dangerous team. I think Blizzard, I mean, the mechanics of Max and Toxic, I mean, even with Zinvez, the defense can be a little bit suspect from Zinvez sometimes, but Toxic and Max on the offensive side of things, I mean, I'm sorry. When Luca and Mitch are going for solo plays, they could get a musty. We saw that musty out of the corner from Luca. I mean, that's an outstanding play. But I mean, Max does that 100% of the time, every time. And like, I'm just, if Max is in